Hey, Shalom, Shalom, when the start of souls by giving no praise to Yah, Bashem, Yah, Shah, Bashem, Kodash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and honors to you brothers doing the work in truth, war, sincerity, right? This is inspired from a statement Apostle Rhymelab made in a video, which is basically they have the know-how to, to do better, right? And that's in reference to Esau, right? So I'll get this is Ezekiel 28 and 3. It says, Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Right? So Esau's been given certain wisdom. The Lord has, dealt with Esau, to know certain things. And that you look at the world around you, right? The fact that I am, one of the, tech guys, Marcus Brownlee, MKBHD on YouTube, right? I like it with Jake doing tech. I'm a Jake. I like tech. This and the other. One of the things you see statements he made is like, bro, look how amazing it is. You can touch a bit of metal and glass, and then food arrives at your door. Right, here it is. I'm speaking into a bit of metal and glass. Right, then you're gonna, brothers all around the world are gonna, be able to catch this video, listen to these videos, download this video. I'm not saying to do that, as in those are all the different things that you can do. Right, edit this video, whatever, what have you. Right, well, from this one little bit of technology, and this is just one of the many things that the Lord has given this man the understanding to do, right? And the point that the Apostle Ramlab was making was, Esau has the know-how to do better, right? There's a, wealth enough for everyone, but that's just not this man's spirit. Right? In fact, we'll get that as well, right? This is, Habakkuk 2 and 4, right? It says, Behold, his spirit which is lifted up is not upright. Right, so an upright man will look at, as an example, look at everything that's going on in the world where you get people that are, starving. They ain't got food. They can't eat. They ain't got anything to eat. Man, dying. What does he do? He hoards trillions to himself, right? And it's simple, right? Or the way, for instance, on what do you call it? At Netflix, there's that program Explained, right? And it's basically different things explained in each episode. One of the things that was explained was the global water shortage, right? And one of the things you find out, that Esau does with his corporations is he, for instance, will do farming and place it in the desert, right? He'll set up a farm in the desert. Like, for instance, Corona Modelo, the factory, that was, and making a beer is quite water intensive, right? The factory for that is in a part of land where there ain't really that much water, right? And what does that do? That then affects the people around, that affects the farmers, right? This, that, and the other, right? So now they're struggling to get food while you got this big corporation taking all of the water, right? But that is the world that Esau has built, right? And there are different technologies that are help better for the environment. But what does Esau want to do? He wants to keep that petrodollar monopoly going, right? It says, but the just shall live by his faith, right? That's referring to the Israelites. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, right? He is a proud, and wine there represents his philosophies, things that he believes in, the things that he pushes in the world, right? It says he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, right? So that's why he's got military bases all over the world. There's an issue in an obscure part of the world, he wants to go there and fix it, right? And but by fix it, we know he ain't fixing shit, right? Because this is as the apostles referred to him as Mister Can't Do Right. He can't do right, right? It says and is as death, right? Everywhere this man goes, it's like death, man, right? I'm trying to think of a movie that, oh, what was it, Scar, right? Scar and the Lion King, right? When Mufasa, whatever his name is in rulership, the land is all plenteous, but then Mufasa gets rulership. Now everything's dying, man, right? Not Mufasa. Now Scar gets rulership. Yeah, everything starts to die. But that's Esau for you, the so-called right man, right? It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell, right? and is as death and cannot be satisfied. Yeah, because hey, friends, you look at this Quran, which that ain't even the numbers we're seeing, it ain't even that bad in comparison to the big killers, right? But you look at all of the amount of people. Well, if every man dropped dead, the earth will eat it up, man, right? So, the earth is never satisfied. The earth is always willing for more dead bodies, right? It says, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people, right? So that's this multiculturalism, these metropolitan cities where you've got an abundance, these melting pot cities, I think it's a better way of putting it, right? Where you've got these abundance of different nations all together, right? Learning of Esau's philosophies, right? Yeah, so that's the point there, right? It's it's all part of this. Ezekiel 28:3 says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. Daniel was a wise man. You read, for instance, uh what was this chapter? This is history of Susanna, right? That's Daniel, right? And Daniel there is basically showing his wisdom in the sense of um uh, uh history of Susanna, yeah, history of Susanna, where basically Daniel saves Susanna's life, but by wisdom, right? And that's ability that's something that is inspired by the Most High wisdom, right? You get that from the Most High, but the Lord has dealt with Esau in a certain way, right? For instance, I won't be able to find that. Let me try. Um, I think it's. I'm gonna give it a quick try. I think is it. Yeah, it is her. It is her. Right. So this is Second Ezra 4. I'm gonna start from verse 5, jump to the point. It says, and I said, tell on, my Lord. Then said he unto me, go thy way, weigh me the weight of the fire, right? Or measure me the blast of the wind, or call me again the day that is past, right? It says the angel Uriel speaking to Ezra, the prophet Ezra, right? Basically gave this man these four would you call it, four things. But Esau's been able to do this, right? I remember the first time the apostle spoke, and it's years ago. I was like, damn shit, yeah, right? Esau's been able with the video camera. You can now bring back, yes, you go in time and be able to, oh shit, that's how that happened. Right? You got this current generation of children where more or less every single day of their life is photographed, right? So that we won't, Lord, well, we want, but let's say they were to grow up, right? Well, even kids that were born in the 2000s, early 2000s, they can watch videos of them when they were babies, right? We didn't have that opportunity, right? When we were children, that was it. Maybe a dusty picture, and that's about it, right? The weight of the fire, right? He's got things to be able to measure wind, right? As he's talking about gale force winds, it's traveling at this speed, this, that, and the other. He's been able to do that, right? So he has the understanding, right? But does he want to do better? The question is, can he do better? And we read Habakkuk, and that's the answer. Sadly, is not. Oh, not sadly, he's doing his job, right? So also Revelation 16:14 says, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, and part of those miracles is this technology, man. Right, he's able to do things with this technology. Like I said, it's I'm able to speak into literally into a bit of I've got a case on it, so a rubber on the outside, glass, what do you call it? Some glass, and some metal and stuff on the inside, and that's able to record a video, right, through airwaves. I'm then able to put that on, a web, on a server somewhere, right, and then that is then able to be played back at you at the same speed as I'm speaking, right? Sounding exactly this. I mean, I sound like this, brothers, right? This is how I sound, right? Look, I'm pulling the screen down. You're able to see me pulling the screen down, right? And that was just me touching a little bit of glass, right? So hey, that is a miracle, right? And with the same technology, he's able to, what do you call it? Like, for instance, when you look at as it's the big thing at the moment, right? Respirators, right? When you look into that, respirator isn't just a thing of you push air into someone's lung. No, shit's complicated, right? Because one of the things they found out with the early respirators is they actually were killing people. Right? Because really, basically they found out there was actually putting too much force. So there's actually a balance that has to be reached there, right? Which I had a biologist, and I watched a video a couple of weeks back, so I forgot the ins and outs. But for instance, a respirator isn't just like that. But it ain't just a thing of you push air in. There's a process, an actual technical process that's actually going in, into that machine, right? So that's another one of the miracles, the fact that you get people that would have otherwise died, right, that are no longer dying. For instance, we'll get this. Right, so second Ezra 6:21, right? It says, "And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices, and the women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up." Right, and you are seeing that children that are hella premature, right, are surviving. Like, they're surviving some way, somehow, right? They're surviving, and that's because the Lord once again has given this man. This is another precept showing you that we are in those times of the end as well, right? Children who 60 years ago would have never survived are surviving, right? A month premature, 2 months premature, 3 months premature, right? They go into them incubators, right? Mom and dad is just there, day in, day out, watching, hoping this, that, and the other. And then somehow that child would then grow up, right? That's part of the miracles, because once again, they're incubated, it's basically having to mimic certain things of the womb in the sense of development, right? It has to, so when the baby's in the womb, certain things are happening, right? So for instance, it needs to make sure that the baby can grow to a point that it's able to breathe for itself, right, outside of the womb, this, that, and the other. Let me not say in the womb, because I said I'm not a biologist, so let me retract that. I'm not a biologist, so I don't want to make shit up, right? But those incubators, man, they're doing some stuff, right? They're doing some stuff, man, right? So yeah, that's another example of this man's miracles, right? It says, "Which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, and to gather them to the battle of the great day of the God Almighty," right? But where does the problem lie in? I said, the apostle said this man has the know-how to do better, right? And he said, but he doesn't, right? And why doesn't he? Because he is the wicked, right? And that's why the earth is languishing in his rulership. This is Job 9:24. It says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" Right? So the scripture is based, at the end of it as being, facetious. If it ain't Esau, the so-called white man, who is it? Right? The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, right? It's evident to see. Everyone can see. That's why the whole world is in mourning. It says Proverbs 29:2, right? It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn." And people are mourning, man. Everyone's cooped up in their house, right? Everyone's anxious, gets anxiety if they go out. The cop's going to stop me, get fined, right? So let me just. Hey, Slurker Bros, I had to just use the facilities real quick. Right, so yeah, this is Proverbs 29:2. "So when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn," and people are in mourning. Right, everyone's locked up at home. anxiety when they go out, man. So this ain't it, man. That says the earth is given into hand of the wicked. So that's why, I mean, you read Genesis. What does the scripture say, right? He said the Lord, put the man which he made in the garden eastward in Eden, right? Eden wasn't just the garden. The whole earth is Eden, and Eden in the Hebrew is Idan, which means paradise. Right, so the whole earth is supposed to be paradise, but under this man's rulership, it don't look like it, man. Right, it don't feel like it. You go to certain parts of the world, you just see, young children. My friends, I saw a picture over there in Palestine, man. Right, you see a young child, right, basically hiding from them, bloody Amalekite soldiers, man. Right, so this place ain't paradise, man. Right, especially for the children of Israel, because we on the we at the bottom, man. Right, Jay walks in the dark behind the so-called white woman. Right, immediately, anxiety from both individuals, because Jay's like, man, this bitch thinks I'm following her. Nah, fuck this bitch, man. Right, she's like, my God, this nigga's gonna kill me. Right, and that's that. That ain't living. Having to, you can't even walk. You might you might be a Jake living in a quote upper, middle class kind of neighborhood or whatever, right? And everywhere you go, despite the fact you live there, everyone's giving you looks, right? Um, so yeah, I'll carry on. So Isaiah 24:5 says, "The earth also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant." Right. So the earth is defiled, man. Right. You see what's been happening in a time that people have not been, going to work and commuting. We'll put watching the Apostle Gabar's video when he was what's the word I'm looking for? He was basically doing he featured another video of a guy going around New York, and he was like, "Yo, I've never." The guy in the video was like, "Yo, I've never smelled." Not never, but he said this air is so clean. The air smells so clean, right? So this man's machinery, whatever, what have you, right? It's polluting the world, right? The way he farms, this is very being is just a pollute. He is a pollute. Esau is a pollutant, right? Just put it like that, right? And what it said, but because they transgressed the laws, for instance, the land Sabbath, right? That's why the earth is being sprayed with chemicals, to kill weeds, to kill herbicides they call it. I'm trying to remember what the term, but slugs and bugs and all of that sort of stuff from the crops, right? But if you just observe the laws, you'd have a bountiful crop, right? But you don't observe the law. Therefore, you have to put carcinogenic, which carcinogenic means cancer causing, right? You have to put carcinogenic chemicals on, what do you call it, on the crops, and then people like Roundup, for instance, and then people get, end up getting cancer, and then now you're making money from the cancer drugs, right? I'm gonna end on this. This is Revelation 8:11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Right, so that's another reason why your kingdom is being taken down, because you destroyed the earth. Right, you've destroyed the earth. You and all the heathens with you, man. Right. So that's one of the reasons why you're all going down, and why because once again this earth is supposed to be paradise, but it ain't at the moment, right? Yeah, there's some spots where you can actually look and it's like, yo, this place is beautiful, right? But then you might get, for instance, you get acid rain, for example, right? You might be a nation that doesn't pollute, but then what do you call it? Your neighbor, it does, right? And then now you're getting all the chemicals and all this shit from your neighbor, right? And all up in the air and the atmosphere falling on you, right? Or you got the radiation from the nuclear testing that this devil's done all up in the air. right? You're eating some fish, you caught the fish, you're thinking you've done yourself a good job, right? You cut the fish open, all you see is plastic inside it, right? That fish might have had, swam near Fukushima and it's got radiation poisoning. You see, this whole world is just fucked up, man, right? And you have the know-how to do better, but you didn't, so you're gonna be judged and destroyed for it. So as always, Lord's will knows edifying. Till the next time, Shalom.